timed the next part of my walk from the Tower of London to the Houses of Parliament just perfectly. I did it at sunset. I headed towards the Millennium Bridge to get some amazing views of London as the sun set over the city. There was this really beautiful orange and pink glow over the buildings of the London skyline, and there was so much more to see as well. Bankside is also the home to Shakespeare's replica theatre, The Globe. From here, you can get some amazing views of the Millennium Bridge and of all the historic buildings and the River Thames. It's a great place to stop and have a glance at St Paul's Cathedral and just soak up all of the history and the iconic buildings that you can find in this skyline. The Millennium Bridge is a steel pedestrian bridge that people can cross on foot. St Paul's Cathedral is at the other end, but come and explore Cardinal's Wharf while you're here, because there's a plaque to the architect Sir Christopher Wren, who built St Paul's on this White House, although he didn't actually live here. But the plaque was rescued from the house a few streets away where he did live. And of course, we've got the Tate Art Museum nearby as well. Londoners used to call Millennium Bridge the Wobbly Bridge because there was some alarming swaying on its opening day. The meter bridge was eventually fixed, and it's a great place to go and walk and take in some brilliant views of London for free. For those of you who are interested, I do all of my walks in London solo and on a really cheap budget. I jump on the Elizabeth line from Essex into London and tap contactless, saving a lot of money, and it usually costs me under £20. I do plan my walks beforehand, and that's so I can spot everything I want to see and do a bit of research before I go out. I also use Google Maps while I'm out to make sure that I don't get lost. I bring water, food and drinks with me, and that saves a lot of money. And sometimes I do treat myself to a coffee or maybe a glass of wine or maybe a spot of lunch. I've got a whole list of other places that I want to walk to over the summer, so I'll be doing plenty of videos and plenty of walks around some of the best places in London. I've set myself this challenge purely because I love history and I like walking around London and looking at old buildings, and I'm also trying to keep fit and exercise more. Plus, I enjoy my own company and I enjoy going out and just walking around places on my own. Sometimes I do these walks to raise money for charity, so it's a win-win-win-win-win situation all round. After the Millennium Bridge, I headed on towards the Oxo Tower, waving goodbye to St Paul's on the way. The Oxo Tower has been a power station for the post office and was also a cold store for the company that manufactured Oxo cubes. Passing there, we get to Burney Spain Gardens, where I was lucky enough to see a group of fire performers on the banks of the River Thames. I don't know who they were or what they were doing, but there was a lot of people filming them and taking photographs, and it was a great place to just stop and watch for a few moments and have a rest. And this is the great thing about walking in London, because even though you can plan it and you know where you're going, every now and then you'll stumble across something that you didn't expect to see, and sometimes it can be quite spectacular. So if you're planning a walk in a particular area of London, it's always useful to check out what free events and things might be going on at the time or on the day that you're doing your walk. Join me on my next video, where I'll be continuing the walk along the South Bank and looking at the National Theatre and various other places on the way up to the Houses of Parliament. By this time, the sun was really setting and it was beginning to get dark, and I was getting quite excited about walking through London during the evening.